15 years old. But this particular observance involves churches from all over the world. 1,500 churches and communities come together to hold sacred space for peace, knowing that the power of prayer has an immense capacity to move us forward. We have had a team of chaplains holding a vigil here for the last 24 hours, so I'm hoping you can kind of get a sense of the wonderful prayerful energy that's already greeting us this morning. Also, know that this vigil will continue, and in the back of the room you will find these prayer request forms. If you would like to include just a list of names or requests that you would like us to hold in prayer for the next 30 days, please take this opportunity to request that prayer support. Earlier this week, in fact on Tuesday night, Rizwan Qadir, who you will hear from in a moment, invited me to share a Muslim prayer practice. He invited me to observe the evening prayers at the mosque in Morton Grove. It's very beautiful, and if you have not had the opportunity to visit, I know that you two would be warmly welcomed. At one point during those prayers, I found myself really flooded with a sense of the divine that was so powerful I was moved to tears. And while that's not an unfamiliar feeling for me, it's not something that I commonly experience. And it's a very difficult feeling to describe or explain. The best I can do, I think, is to say that it's this odd blend of relief and of awe and of gratitude that's all mixed up together. It's a feeling that I think, I imagine, might be what the prodigal son must have felt when he returned after having squandered his fortune on what Christian scripture describes as riotous living. He returned and was nonetheless welcomed home with robes and with rings and a party. What I appreciate most about this worldly prayer service is that it reminds us that those kind of homecomings, that feeling, it's a universal experience. And the presenters that we have gathered tonight come from a variety of religious faiths and communities, and they remind us that no matter what form or what language or what activity that we use for it, the practices that we use to invoke God, it's a universal and a common experience that transcends the names we use. And even though our ideas about God and how we worship can be vastly different and sometimes even contradictory, it reminds us that our faiths are built upon common values like love and compassion, altruism and forgiveness. It reminds us that we are connected in ways that we can't fully comprehend, and it reminds us of our unity with one another and our oneness with all that is. Our focus tonight is not on education, though I expect that you will learn something about other faiths. Perhaps you will even deepen your own. Our focus tonight is on experiencing the transcendent aspect of faith. And it's a realm that is much more easily accessed through the spiritual dimension rather than through the body and the mind. So I recommend that you set an intention now to simply allow your body and your mind to quiet and to be receptive, to allow Spirit to reveal itself through each of the presentations that we're about to experience, and to allow the source of all creation to reflect our unity back to us and through us. Allow that power that guides the stars and shapes the earth to welcome you home tonight.